Okay.
I felt like the best thing to do today was to just have eye patches on as long as I can.
So the first thing we said before we started recording was I said I look insane, and then I looked at Christy and I went, "Oh, you look insane." So and by insane, I have what I would describe as like maybe like if we want to go Middle Earth, a little Middle Earth cape.
Is it like a heated cape you're wearing?
It sure is, yeah.
Where did you get that?
Look at I have so many like do not remove tags just like hanging off my body right now. Where did I get Santa Claus?
See,
I also have a heat pad in my lap. I'm not doing well. And I
guys,
love
it's
that I have
cold.
I mean, I do wear a series of like 3 sweatshirts all year round, but I do love that I have my Appalachian straw. I feel like I'm telling a story right now. In fact, Appalachia is not strong. We are weak.
Appalachia is falling apart.
Appalachia's falling apart. Like, can we get you out of a ditch? Yes. Can we drink some beers with you? Yes, but don't make it below 30. That's when Appalachia's like, well, I feels like someone's calling. I've got to go.
It's so funny because like some of my students are from northern states.
Mm.
And so every time I've been like, guys, it's kind of cold. And they're like, well, it's -4 in New York. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't bring my warm sweaters to this state. They're all back in Colorado. So like this is not
Well,
working for me.
I never owned any. But it was really funny because I sent so Charlotte is very transplant heavy.
Yeah.
Um,
St. Pete is too.
did you hear Salem? Baby, I'm right here.
Everyone is struggling. The animals
I
are
feel like
like,
everyone's struggling. I feel like
I
that's
mean,
so.
fair.
We go to a particular dog bar here in Charlotte, and it's hilarious to see people walk in because you know immediately who's from where, and like all these Bills fans are like, "Well, I'm gonna put my no. You don't have to put your Bills stuff on. We know based on your jacket that you're not that you're from upstate New York." Because all the Southerners have just piled on normal clothes in piles.
In piles.
So
You
we
just
just have like 5 sweaters on.
you're like Joey just wearing all of the clothes.
All the yeah, we're Joey from Friends. And then the socks situation is hilarious because you get these people, these with let's say Buffalo Bills, and they have these boots, like real life boots.
Real life boots. Leah, you lived in Scotland.
And I had wellies. I didn't have like real life boots. And, like, I mean, like snow, like snow.
Yeah.
And then
I have
all
snow
the
boots.
Southerners have their trainers, tennis shoes on, with just 50 layers of socks on, including me. Should be noted. I am them. So
Leah's fully
hey,
part
it's
of that.
cold down here, guy. It's cold. Did you see? My friend sent a thing from New Orleans that I sent you.
New Orleans has snow. You know where else has multiple inches is the beach in Pensacola,
Carolina.
Florida.
Oh,
The
also Carolina
Pensacola,
Beach.
Florida beach has multiple inches of snow. I saw a post on Instagram. One of the people that I follow put a picture up of like the literal beach. Like there's the ocean, there's the sand, and also several inches of snow on it. It's weird.
There's a guy I know who's from Massachusetts, and he came up to me and he was like, "You know what? I feel like I got tricked. Like that's not why I came down here. I feel like I was like," and I went, "I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you because you know what? Oh God, someone's trying to get in the cabinet. That's why we have the child locks on. When he feels feelings, he has to go in a cabinet. He's not like Beethoven where he'll like just tear stuff apart. Like he just needs to go and sit with his thoughts.
He needs to go hide.
Don't we all, Salem? Don't we all?
I get it.
Anyway, so he was like, I just feel hoodwinked and blah. And I was like, go back. Just go back then. if you feel hoodwinked, I felt like such a conservative. I was like,
You're like, go back.
Just go back.
I mean, to be fair,
like, we aren't ready either. We didn't know this was gonna happen.
Yeah, you didn't either. To be fair, like it will not be cold for multiple months like it is wherever like from in Massachusetts, like this is going to last for a few days, couple weeks maybe, and then it will be back to being normal southern weather.
It's already supposed to be, well, in North Carolina anyway, it's supposed to be like 60 next week. And I was like, oh, okay.
Like in Massachusetts, it's going to be cold for like 3 more months at least.
I know. I talked to a girl from Minnesota at the dog bar, and I was like, she was like, these people don't understand. Because I was sort of making the same complaint. Yeah. And I feel like you really need to get some really cold weather people to get it who've moved here. Because most of them are like upstate New York or Ohio, and they're like, it's cold. But then the Minnesota girl was like, no. It's like she's been through it. She's like,
she's like, you don't know.
She's been in the trenches. She's like, this is nothing.
Do you know, my mom told me once, so my mom, when she moved from Ohio to Colorado, the first place that she lived in was this mountain town called Gunnison. And Gunnison is the coldest town in Colorado because of where it's located. Like it has just the worst winter weather. And so they had to plug their cars in to heat them up. Like these are not electric vehicles because she moved in the 70s. Like they had to heat them up so that they would even start because it was so cold, like the car stuff would freeze.
How do you plug a not electric car up?
I have no idea, but they have to do this. They have to do this in Canada and like probably in Minnesota, like all of these places that get really, really cold. Like they plug their cars in to heat them up.
But Christy, to what?
I don't know.
With what?
I don't know.
Do they all have tails? What's happening? I don't get it. My car has a Hyundai Elantra and it doesn't have a plug.
All of our northern friends, can you please explain to us?
Please help. Christy just traded in her Colorado card, and I just am still me. So we
never had to do this. This was like Gunnison had to do this. I didn't have to do this in Colorado Springs. It doesn't get that cold. Denver does not get that cold. I've never had to.
Christine Whaley.
It doesn't, not that cold where you can't start your car. I've never had to do that.
Well, it's cold enough to fall down, and we both know that.
It is cold enough to form ice that you and I can't walk on.
Don't do that. I got my trusty GodPods returning. Oh, which, by the way, as I just put this up, I realized this is clearly not mine because someone else's name is on the bottom. It says Derek. What tag? Derek. If your last name starts with an L.
Derek L. Leah stole your cup.
I did, not on purpose. Most of the time I just drank stuff people gave me, which sounds incredibly dangerous, and don't do that anymore. But at beer camp, maybe. So someone clearly gave me your cup, and I'm sorry, but if you come up to me and you prove with the government-issued ID that you are in fact Derek L. that looks vaguely like that, then I'll give it back to you. All right. Your voice just went really weird on that. I don't know what you were talking into that now you're not.
Well, it's because I was moving the computer because of computer things and whatnot. All of that.
That's all you have.
I didn't get to keep my GodPod cups.
Well, mine's probably with yours.
Well, because I
maybe
only had that. I had that little backpack, and so I couldn't keep anything that wasn't like essential.
I had a packed bag. Why didn't you just give it to me and I would have brought it back?
I don't know.
I don't either because we even went to the airport together.
I know.
You saw me give that man that little bag.
I just like sadly threw them away. I was like, I don't know what to do with these.
Because I had to take back the whole of the hot wing sauce. I definitely could have stuffed your cup.
I know, you could have. Like I was really sad about it too. I was like, oh, my cup.
I mean, no. My one.
I don't know why that never occurred to me.
Of a certain credit card is I get to have a check bag for beer camp. That's like my only worth in this world. So guys, welcome to Theology on the Rocks. It's Christy and Leah back.
Hello, we're here. Thought Theology. It's the newest of New Year's. It's the
Happy New
most
Year.
recent shit show of a year.
We're back in another shit show of a year. We're
We're here.
barely in. And Christy and I both decided to do dry January, which, come to find out,
Worst idea.
literally based on everything, we have regretted a lot, except for our health, which was great. We are feeling better. I went to the doctor and got good news about my old body, and so we feel good about it.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of.
like I don't regret doing it. I feel like it was the right decision for the reasons that I decided to do it. And simultaneously, I hate it.
Yeah.
Because like what a January to decide to do this.
Because we had sports, the longest college football
Sports
season of my life.
I mean, the longest college football season ever. Not even like jokingly, it just is.
It just
'Cause
went
they were
on, and then it was here, and then we also have.
But speaking of, it's my Ohio State cup that I am drinking out of.
Oh yeah, I don't know if
because
that's heard.
because cheers to national champions, baby.
Christy, did you know like you're now like really hated? It's like a thing.
Now, we were so hated before. Nobody likes Ohio State fans.
I'm saying this. Okay, you get to toss me around in the NFL world. I'm gonna tell you, yes, of course. But if you look at like who's won the national championship, Ohio State's actually the Ohio State.
The Ohio State. Yes, thank you.
Y'all, it's so annoying. Anyway, so y'all are like the only ones in the midst of a bunch of SEC teams that have even gotten close to winning as many national championships.
It is true. I also want to point out,
I should say, because you got like the Yales and all of that from like.
Yeah, I want to point out that the Ohio State was was the one to win when they first changed to the 10 years ago when they changed the CFP, like the championship playoff thing. They made that change. Ohio State won. And then they made a change again this year, and Ohio State won. And I was like, I think it's just like,
what playoff before this playoff?
It was whatever. I can't remember exactly, but it was whatever they were doing last year.
Oh no, the first time they had a national championship, like where it was.
Yeah, some kind of like the first time they did blah blah blah.
Yeah,
was Ohio State.
Just like the Fiesta Bowl was like they won
the big thing. Yeah,
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Anyway, it was like I just think it's funny. It was just funny that we won then, and then we won again.
Haha, or funny yay for you?
Both.
Gotta change it again next year.
We'll win again when they change the rules in 10 years. It's fine.
I am pretty active on not just SEC, Big Ten blogs, and general. I'd say ACC. Those are the three conferences that I keep up with.
Yeah.
And then I if the Pac-12, if USC decides to get good again, I'm gonna be real sad again. But if they just stay the way they are, then it's okay. Actually, I think USC left, and they went to the Big Ten.
I honestly don't know. You follow college football more than I do.
Well, those are the three I keep up with. And there was chat about Ohio State, sort of like there's chat about like once we get to that peak, there's a little bit of ice up there, but like we're not going to really think about it till we get to the peak.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, so the ice was always there, but now it's like, you see that mountain, you know what? We hate that mountain. We want to burn the mountain to the ground.
Want to burn the mountain down. Yeah.
We don't care if there's ice at the top. And I realized you have to have an enemy, and now the
Ohio State's the enemy.
Saban's gone.
It's so funny because I feel like so we lost to that team up north this year again, which was very upsetting.
I'm sorry, I think it's Michigan, is it? Or
no, we don't.
U of M for folks in that world.
We don't say that. So we lost to them. And when we lost to them, my algorithm basically was giving me a lot of like Ohio State fan posts, like complaining about it and all of that kind of stuff. But I wasn't seeing anything from the other side of it or from outside perspectives, which I feel like I get sometimes. But since we won the championship, since what day was that? Monday? God, it feels like a year ago.
telling you.
Already. I have been getting inundated with Michigan fan posts being like, "They're not legitimate champions because we beat them." And I'm like, "What in the actual
I
why is this what I'm getting now?"
I think Michigan has formed a campaign against you, but I think it has spread. Here's
I
what
mean,
I'll
they hated us. I mean, they're our biggest rival. We're
yeah,
their biggest rival. Like that
but
I
I
get that. I
want
just why is it happening to my algorithm right now? It is not what I want to see.
well, so the message that we're getting down here
Yeah.
in the ACC, I would argue, is that NIL money. That's
It-
it's not because we don't have the rivalry. So like people are
right.
like, oh, Michigan. We're like, we don't care. The Yankees fight it out in the snow.
Yeah.
I don't care. But the money, yeah, that I've seen a lot about that 20 million, which we spent money
Yeah.
too. But y'all, and you know who spent them? You didn't spend the most money actually. I looked it up. Texas did. Ah.
Texas spent the most money? Okay. I was wondering. I was wondering who spent the most, but I wasn't wondering enough to bother. I'm glad you
Well, I
looked it
mean,
up.
I
Thank
looked
you.
up how much, and then we were like number 5 or 6, but like the disparity was
Yeah.
quite large. I
Yeah.
should say,
It was.
like it
It was
was. So it's a new world. We're gonna have to figure that out. But that
it'll be
the
interesting.
sort of stuff that I'm getting is, I think I sent you the video with the cars, is the Ohio State being like,
Yes.
"We won," and everyone being like,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
That's kind of the stuff I'm getting. But
Yeah.
also, we
Well,
need everyone needs an enemy. So congrats.
it's fine. We can do that for you for the next
Well,
year.
it's not just. I mean, it's not. We didn't even make it that far.
I don't think Georgia fans care.
I was like, right now, we just want a quarterback that's not dead. If the quarterback is like Weekend at Bernie's and we can prop him up, that's what we want.
Yes.
That doesn't come out with his arm like, I got this, guys.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Ah, do
That's
you?
hilarious.
Because you have one job, and this is really going to prevent it. So the fact that
Uh,
no one knew he was going to hand that ball off, I'm like, he could have. We're talking about against Texas. Is like in the SEC championship. Carson Beck comes out with an arm that's like just dead at his side, and I was like, oh no 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 no. And then I was like, sure, what is he gonna do? What is he? And he goes, well, he's not gonna throw it. That is Stuart Gibb from Scotland and me in an armchair. Now, the fact they were like, oh god,
I mean,
he gave it to someone to run. I'm like,
of course, of course. Speaking, but can we just like put out there our concern for Will Howard and the alien coming out of his hand? Because I haven't.
This will be the last football chat, guys. But
I
also,
know. Sorry.
no, it's not. I mean, I was most of that. I was mostly correcting myself. Will Howard, yeah, who I didn't know who that person was, which should show you I don't have a deep hatred yet. I did until they showed his hand
His hand,
in
that
a
golf ball
scene.
sized. They kept calling it a knot, and I was like, that is a
No.
living creature about to birth from his hand.
And they were like, it shouldn't affect anything.
It
Having
should.
lived through the Carson Beck flop arm, I was like, I think you guys are not like not understanding what quarterbacks do.
As just a human being who feels, concerned about I saw that thing and I wanted to throw up everywhere because it was
Yeah.
gross, but I also was just like, somebody help that man. Like
I
that
was
is
watching
not
it and I was texting Christy because I need someone to talk to. And like, um, I was like, and this, I knew that she would know that it wasn't just my dislike of anyone not Georgia because I was like, dear Jesus, what's happening to that man's hand?
simultaneously. I think you and I texted almost simultaneously. You were like, what happened to that man's hand? And I was like, oh my god, his hand.
And they were like, no big deal. I was
No
like,
big deal. I was like, no.
apparently quarterbacks can use their feet these days. I don't know. I was like, I mean, it seems like y'all get paid the big bucks, though, whatever. So, anyway,
Horrifying.
point
So
being, is
anyway,
football season is over. Well, college football season is.
college is over. The
But I did get a
NFL.
lot of chat that, like, we can't compete with the NFL playoffs. Agree. And that a lot of people who love college football are saying we need to adjust the timeline a little bit. Because,
Yeah.
like, it felt like, as a Georgia fan to my core, and all of you guys know this, I forgot we were playing and when. And we were in a bye, yay.
You petered out, like, your attention span petered out, I noticed that. I was like
Yeah, it did.
I it wasn't so bad for me because 'cause I'm used to the NFL, it's just longer,
Yeah.
so, like, it felt not weird, but it was long. But it's weird because the NFL has gotten longer because they added a week onto the regular season, and everything just feels very long right now. But I also think that January has lasted for 7 years.
We've been in January for long. I think with college, I think you're right. I think you exactly right actually is I think you got trained in the NFL. Now I'm getting really
Yeah,
hot. Is and with college football, it's Saturday, 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 Saturday bowls because they're like
yeah.
18 years old, so they can do that. And it's no offense. I'm sure
Yeah.
some of them struggle. I'm sweating. Okay, so
He has taken off the heated
I've
cape,
taken
guys.
off the heated cape. Still have the laugh on
It
though.
is so
It's so Chris, you're in Florida though. It can't be as cold. It still hasn't hit above freezing yet here.
I mean, it's not temperature-wise, but it is in terms of, like, how I feel. I feel like, when you're and this is also a little bit probably just my house, but, like, when you lived in Scotland and you would be at home and you would still just kind of, like, feel your bones were cold
Yeah,
and you had to, like, have all the
yeah.
heated blankets on, and this is why they use those stupid hot water bottles and stuff. Is because 'cause you're just like, I have to warm up somehow, and I don't know what to do because it's not just, like, inherently warm in my house, and that is
Mm,
what's happening right now. It's like there's, like, a draft from the window,
yeah.
and then, like, my heat it's not like
What
I'm not
temperature is it in
normally
Florida though? Like 40s?
it's in the 40s. So it's just, like,
Pray
in my
for
bones
y'all.
cold.
Hashtag pray for Christy.
It's in my bones cold, and I can't get warm. I've been wearing everywhere I go, I've been wearing my wool cardigan that I got in Glasgow from the vintage shop.
Oh,
Like,
that's cute.
I just I I've fully gone back into my Glasgow self in terms of outfits. My students were like, "This is your fault because you told us Florida is too hot," and I was like,
This is your fault.
this is true."
Christy,
So,
this is all your fault.
everything is my
Just
fault.
because Ohio State won.
Ohio State won the Natty, and everything is my fault.
Just ask the internet. The internet agrees, so it's fine.
That is the sum total.
I will say this will truly be my last. Georgia fans are so defeated. We're like your Broncos fans. So you were like, I'll explain it one day. You can, but I get it. Like years of disappointment and being all. The thing is, if you're real bad, like Atlanta, there's no pressure, right? So like
Right. We've
like
been bad for a long, long
we've
time,
been
yeah.
bad for maybe ever, and so
You
there's
went to the Super Bowl in the '90s
oh well we
and
were
more recently,
and
but
more recently RAP, but we've never won.
you've not won, no.
We've not won. So like for that, it's always good. Like if we make it, I'm like, oh bless. And so there's a lot less pressure. But to have two teams that are like you have the Broncos and I couldn't do two. I can't. I need to not have to. Because like when Atlanta lost to Charlotte, I was like, well, that's kind of hilarious, isn't it?
I will say, I mean, like, and you know this, my loyalty is much stronger to the Broncos, and so, like, if it was an
Yeah.
either or, like, if you were to be like, either the Broncos can win the Super Bowl or Ohio State can win the national championship, I'd be like, Super Bowl 100%, I wouldn't have to think about it.
I thought the Super Bowl was this Saturday, guys.
It's February 9th.
Because I'm
We're
used to
all praying
college.
deeply that it's not the Chiefs.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Stuart, well, at least Super. He was like, baby, Super Bowl's not this weekend.
It's not, no.
How are we still
It's still happening.
going? This is still
But I will say that having Ohio State win the national championship the same year that the Broncos got back to the playoffs finally, um, has been weird for my emotions because I am so much more excited about the Broncos.
guys. I know that most of you are not here for the football, so I'm gonna cut it. But
Yeah.
if you meet me in real life, please, for the love of our shared connection to a higher power, come up to me and ask me about Christy's reaction to Ohio State, who we've talked about, getting into the playoffs of the college football. She wasn't excited.
I
I
was
was
not.
sitting here having to evangelize her for her team.
I was like, "It's fine. They usually do. Whatever."
It's never existed. They usually don't because no one has. What
Well, like,
do
they
you
usually
mean?
go to
They
a bowl
usually do.
game. Like,
Everyone goes to a bowl game. There's
it just
like
didn't feel like that big of a deal because I feel like
Nashville has a Music City Bowl.
Ohio State's, like, usually up, in the top 10, so I just but because, again, it's football mindset, NFL versus college is so different because 'cause I'm like, "Well, Ohio State is always in the playoffs."
I have a whole pullover. Where I was like, Christy, it hurts my soul to have to do this,
But I literally
but you need to
cried.
get fired up
I
quick.
cried multiple times during the week leading up to the Broncos playoff game. Cried. I was watching videos nonstop of,
They didn't
like
even make it past like the
no,
first round.
they didn't. And no, I never thought they were gonna win that game. We were playing the Bills. That was not gonna happen. But, like, I was so emotional that whole week. It was a trip. So, my emotions have been all over the place in terms of football,
Well, it's a
but
good thing we're not drinking, right?
I good lord. What if I was
Oh,
drunk during all of that? That would have been
super exciting.
somebody would have been entertained.
Christy has, speaking of drinks, so Christy has what I'm assuming is soda because she's gone on a real soda kick these days, or maybe not.
I hate soda, but I don't know what else to do. This is actually Arizona iced tea.
I,
It's a it's green blueberry iced tea and it's really good and it's my like new favorite thing.
as a Southerner, I'm saying that. Just Google Southerners and Arizona iced tea.
I don't care. Sweet tea is too much. I used to love it, but
It's
I
not
can't
even
anymore.
sweet. It actually is not to do with sweetness.
Well,
Just
but Arizona iced tea is so good and also it's so cheap. And that CEO is like, "Yeah, we make a profit and we don't need any more, so we're not going to raise the price." And I'm here for it.
okay. Well, that's fine. Then don't Google it. I suggest. I have been doing other things, but most just some seltzers here and there since it's just our
Some
whole
some non-alcoholic seltzers.
non-alcoholic seltzers just on my journey.
It is
Um,
a an interesting experience because, like, most of the time, I only have water all
mm,
day, and then I have a glass of wine, right?
yeah,
And
I'm not a day drinker. I mean, we have
yeah,
jobs, which
I
is
mean,
a problem.
yeah, obviously, we have jobs. They don't let me drink during but, like, I'll drink water all day long, coffee, obviously, water, and then at night, I'll be like, "Okay, time for my glass of wine." Have my glass of wine and go to bed. All of January,
Mm.
all day long, I'm like, "Well, I can't have wine, so I guess what else can I have?" Like, I've been drinking wine all day or something. Like, I'm replacing water
I know.
most of the time, but I just keep being like, "Well, I can't have wine, so I guess here at 2 p.m., I'm gonna have a root beer."
I think well, I'll speak for myself. I think for me, it's more the idea of like not being able to have it, like the
Yeah.
forbidden nature of it. And because what I have been doing is today, Stuart, I came to Stuart and he had a snow day, ha ha ha. And I was like, hey,
So
so
cute.
here's this thing. I'm having trouble with, actually, I told you about the same issue. And I was just like, I'm having issues. I need advice. I just need the two people I trust to give me advice on this subject and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, he actually looked at me and he was like, I don't actually understand. Now, this is a man who has been with me for over a decade. He was like, Lee, I don't actually get what you're talking about. And I was like, no, I've told you this story. The story is da 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 da. And like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm talking like I have snorted cocaine or off of a table, which I haven't, algorithm. And I was just like, not, so I'm just jacked up on caffeine now.
Yeah,
But
and
I,
I haven't been this is the worst part is that I'm sleeping terribly
same.
because I'm drinking so much stupid soda all day long, and I can't stop drinking the stupid soda, and then I can't sleep at all. I can't wait for dry January to be over so that I can, like, get back to my functional self, honestly.
Well, all you people who did do dry January for your health, we applaud you. We support you.
Yeah,
Get sober, get well.
like I said, I there were reasons that I did it, and I'm glad that I did it. I'm gonna finish it out, but, like,
I got blood
It
work done that told me that I definitely was doing better at
yeah,
not having
like,
alcohol. So I even in the amounts that I had, so you are doing right by your body. It's just we're it's the 22nd.
it's the
I
choice.
thought we're talking like the 22nd.
Also, like and, like, to get into the more serious aspects of the podcast, but, like, it has been a really stressful month. I think
Mhm.
leading up to the inauguration, everybody was on edge, and there was a lot of stuff going on, and then Monday, I stayed off of social media until the Ohio State game. Yeah.
When I
Leah's
saw
holding up
him, I got a "This is fine" with the little dog with
in
the
the fire.
flames, and occasion and now I just love it because I have 2 things on my desk. One is this,
One
a
is the
Georgia
bulldog.
bulldog that's like a I have a friend that I'm in AAR Southeast, and he works at UGA, and he just brings me stuff that he usually uses to get people to go to Georgia, but he'll just give it to me.
He's like,
So
"You love Georgia."
he was like, "Just take this dog." And then there's the dog with the flames and the coffee cup that says, "This is fine." And I got it, and I said, "What does it do?" And Stuart was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Does it do anything?" And he was like, "No, it's just for your
It's
desk."
just
And I was like,
interesting.
"Yeah,
That's funny.
so this is
But
fine."
one of my coworkers one time gave me it was a little Marie Antoinette doll,
Oh,
and her head popped
perfect.
off, and it was hilarious.
Smart but helpful.
But yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of anxiety and stress and all leading up, and then obviously Monday, I stayed off social media
Mm,
until the game started because I knew it was gonna be bad. I didn't wanna watch anything. I just kind of was like, "I'm not gonna give any attention to this until
mhm,
I absolutely have to." And then when I got on and I had seen it was so much worse
mm.
than I think I was anticipating, and it just it's been a strange because you know bad stuff is coming, but then the bad stuff comes and you're still hit like, "This is horrible." I mean, obviously, doing certain kinds of salutes on stage
Oh,
during the
it's not
presidential
he was a Nazi. He was being
it's
a
a Nazi
Nazi.
salute. I mean, like, this is there's it makes me so angry I can't even talk about
I
it,
know.
like, functionally, but it's like, this is something I never thought that I mean, growing up, you just know Nazis are bad.
Mhm.
You think everyone agrees with you that Nazis are bad. And I know that we've been, like, getting closer and closer to this, but, like, to see it happen and then to see all of the gaslighting that's come along
I
with
know.
it, of people being like, "No, no." I saw a bunch of people were like, "He was throwing his heart out to the crowd." And I was like, "That's not how a human does that."
Or comparing it to Hillary and Kamala, who did similar motions. And my
It
argument to that too is if you think that that really happened, which if you watch the video, you can watch the video, don't just look at the pictures, and
yeah.
watch the video of Elon Musk as well. I suggest, even if they did, okay, we'll get mad at that.
Yeah, get mad at that or,
You
like
should. You should be outraged then and call them out and make them say something about it.
yeah, like,
So I don't
don't
think
say they did it, so he should be allowed to do it.
right.
Also, it just feels like even if in the most generous take, right, is to say that he did this very awkward gesture, but he didn't mean to. Even in that instance, it should still be a problem, and we
Yep.
should still be mad, and he should still have to apologize, and there should still be
Yeah.
consequences to it because it is a significant
Yeah, the logic
gesture.
that's being used is, well, you guys did it too, i.e., Democrats did too. That's actually, I don't think, very sound logic in the sense of outrage. Like, if
No.
so and so did whatever, and it wasn't just about the salute, it was about other things. Okay, well, then get mad at it. Get as
Yeah,
mad and flood. Because when these speeches were made, that don't just proof text, that
right.
also the
Well,
other side did it. Like, get mad in the instance that it happened. Like,
yeah, and, like, say, "Hey, look, this is happening, we should be mad about this." Okay, we should. We should be mad anytime any kind of form of Nazism or bigotry, anytime any of that happens, racism, all of it should always be called out and we should always be mad about it. That is just
Yeah.
true. Whether it's a person that we like or a person that we hate, we should always be mad about this. And we should say, there are things that disqualify you from being a leader in many things, but certainly the country. And one of those things is to be flippant about doing stuff that is at the very least, and like I said, at the most generous take of it, is signaling to neo Nazis that they have a place in the country, right?
Right. And they
Because
don't. So
ultimately they're saying he
absolutely
did it.
fuck them 100%.
Yeah, like the neo Nazis are saying, "Oh, look, he did this. We're so excited. We're coming back." Like they're excited about it. That should be a problem,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, my approach to it was I went to some MLK events. I avoided it. I didn't want to give any ratings. I didn't necessarily avoid
Yeah.
the content, but I needed to be able to take it in a consumable way and
Mhm.
not just like watch the full thing. I think I
Yeah.
needed to be able to be like, okay, here's that thing, here's that thing, here's this. Like I needed that for my own sanity, but
Yeah.
also to be able to evaluate it and be like, okay, am I getting mad? Like, it are my cousins gonna in Georgia gonna be as mad about this as I am right now? And I think like because I think to not take into account like the other part of the country is a mistake, a big mistake. Because I think you don't have to justify it. I'm not saying justify it. I'm not saying not be super angry, but I feel like we have to understand it. Like if you don't understand, because there's a lot of
I
people
mean,
that
I
are super excited and think like literally. I've heard two statements from people's. These are kind of quotes from people's parents that I've already told you, which is that the Trump supporters are the new punk rockers and that we are the other person's parents said that we're at the peak of the
I understand where you're coming from with that, but I don't really agree, mainly because I think we do understand. I think we've given a lot of time to understanding what they believe or how they've gotten to these places. I don't think that the average person is putting like really intense like critical thought into everything that happens, right? Like Musk does the Nazi salute on stage and then the person who says, "Oh, it wasn't a Nazi salute, he was throwing his heart out," isn't like sitting with it and saying, "Why do I feel this?" and blah blah. I don't think there's that much thought going into their reactions. And similarly, like my reaction, and I will be honest, is just immediately like, "That's terrible. That's a Nazi salute. We should hate it," right? But what I do think is that the root cause of not just the division and everything, but also the idea that we're at a place in the United States where a man could give a Nazi salute on stage at the inauguration, and we're even having to debate whether or not it's a bad thing, is that we've lost the ability to see how manipulated we are, you know? And I think personally that one side is being manipulated considerably more than the other side, or at least, you know, there's a ton of manipulation going on with Trump because he surrounds himself during the election with everyday people saying he's going to lower the price of eggs, he's going to help the economy, he's going to do this and that, right? But then who is in the front row at his inauguration? It's all billionaires, right? It's not
that's who those kind of poor people look up to. That's
like,
who they want to see on the front row.
but like, he's not following through. He's not doing the things that they're saying. I didn't vote for Kamala because the eggs are the economy, blah blah blah. But then ultimately, like that's not even Trump's goal. There's been communication that that's going to get fixed, and then his immediate actions on the day are pardoning the January 6th people, talking about tariffs, which is just going to make all of our prices go up. Like, I mean, it's just
But Biden ran on student loans, and he didn't do that at
he
all.
tried though. I mean, the Supreme Court
He
blocked
tried
it.
eventually, yeah.
I mean, there's always stuff that they're going to run on that they're not going to follow through with, but it's the blatantness of
Mm.
we already know because Trump has already been president. We already know he's not going to follow through on fighting for the working class. He didn't do it the first time. He's not going to do it this time either. So it's not
But I
so
think
much
that's
that like,
understanding why they're voting. I think that that's not why they voted for him. I mean, that may be what they said, but like, I don't think.
well,
I think there's an
and then I would say like,
ideology that he represents that I think we overestimate our fellow human.
and but then I would say like, if you're really not voting for him for the economy, if you're really voting for him because of this ideology, and I am saying that that ideology is a problem, then we need to be able to have a conversation about that kind of stuff. We can't just say, I need to understand where you're coming from. Like, we need to be able to critically look and say, hey, this is swinging towards fascism,
Yeah.
and we have to call it out. We can't just be like,
And
well,
that's kind of what I was talking about in
you
terms of
know,
understanding where they're coming from, is not understanding like the PR reasons they're going to say, but like, being like, are you really, do you want the economy to be better, or are you really racist? Those are
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
people are going to be like, oh, the economy.
And when that's the thing, they're going to say, "Oh no, it's the economy," or he fights for the working class, or
Right.
something that's just blatantly untrue. But then when Elon Musk does a Nazi salute on stage, we need to be able to say with our whole chest, "Hey, that's wrong, and he
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed to be there."
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have to debate it, I think that's where I'm just kind of like, I don't
I agree with you
yeah,
completely.
I it just I mean, it makes me so angry to see people that I love
Mm.
trying to like reason away being mad about something that I feel like my grandpa fought in World War II. If he was alive right now and saw that, like I can't stop picturing the look that would have been on his face,
Okay.
like
Both
it's
of my
just
grandpas were in World War II. Yeah, it would have been
yeah.
an insane thing. And
It
also, well, my step grandfather and grandfather, but then my actual grandfather was in Korea, which was the same ideas. Well,
yeah.
I'd say
I
ill-advised,
mean,
but it
yeah.
was
I
still
mean,
the same idea. And not a Hitler, but a socialist communist.
yeah. And for all of it too, like I don't know, like I said, I feel like there's obviously coming out of the perspectives that you and I are coming out of, there's different perspectives, there's different understandings of connections to these things, but like I get that America has not always been the perfect America that I used to think it was.
Mm.
There's always been these problems, and it's just like it's gotten so down the rabbit hole that I'm like, what?
But when you start to look at the numbers, you have to. This is maybe a point too that I'm trying to make. When you look at the numbers of who voted for him, that's a what is who is America? Maybe we aren't America anymore.
I saw their like latest percentages, and more people didn't vote than voted for, like, it's like 33% voted for Trump and 32% for Kamala or something, like it's pretty close, but then it was like 36% just didn't vote.
Mm.
And I was like, that blows my mind.
Well,
Like,
maybe they that is voting America. If that
yeah, I mean,
makes
that's still a choice. That's still a statement. And that's the one that I think I'm more like, okay, so what are you doing or saying that
is getting them to vote for. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
and I do think it is important because we want to fight it, but we can't. I think if we want to fight it, we can't fight it from the way we're fighting it. Like, we can't say that Elon Musk did not. Yeah, yeah, viscerally that should be, or even like at a very kindergarten level, that should be what we
yeah,
don't like. But
we don't like
but
this.
it's not. I don't think it's how people are thinking. And when you say that, well, then all of a sudden stuff surfaces. Like, I saw on my Facebook a thing where Kamala was talking about, where the heck did they get that the transgender surgeries were going to happen in jail? Well, I can tell you, it's this interview with Kamala Harris where they ask about healthcare in jail. And she says, yes, people should get full coverage. And the
Yeah.
interviewer says something about even X, Y, and Z. And she was like, full coverage. People in jail should have whatever. All of a sudden it sparks a thing. Well, in my head, I was like, and honestly, did she say it? kind of, I mean, she didn't say the sentences that came out of these people's mouths about it because those were
Right.
inflammatory. But I mean, she knew what trail. I believe she knew what trail this was going down, and she definitely didn't like stop it. Like and be like, no, that's blah, blah. Because it's a slippery slope argument. Is that okay? Well, they can't do this. Well, they then I
Yeah.
can see why she did what she did. Point
I
being,
do think having
I ignored that because I didn't want to hear
yeah, I do think having a better I think we need to do a lot better at teaching media literacy.
that.
Because I saw those commercials when I was at my parents' over the summer, and, like, when I'm watching those commercials, it's unbelievably clear how spliced stuff was.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So you can tell that that's not actually what she had said, that they'd cut stuff up,
Right,
but
right,
my parents don't know that, you know?
right. I agree
But
with that
also,
100%.
like, it's not just an age thing. I think there are a lot of people who don't know that because they haven't, like the only reason that I know how to look out for that kind of stuff is because I used to be very obsessed with this blog that was like a backstage or an insider look at The Bachelor and how they edit The Bachelor. That
Yes.
is literally
Yep.
why I know these things, is
Yep.
because I used to be very into The Bachelor. So
Mhm.
it's not a normal thing to know. Like, it's not just everyone's gonna know this. It's also not even, like, an intelligent thing to know.
No, and it's why they use the cups on Love Is Blind. I read
Yep, it's
about
why
this.
they use those cups, is so that you don't know how
The
much is being so,
continuity.
there are ways that you know things, but only if you're in this incredibly, like, weird niche
Right,
part of the television world where you're,
right.
like, obsessed with reality
They're
TV or
splicing
whatever.
together different scenes where your wine is going up and down, so they put them in covered glasses so that you can't tell when they're splicing 2 completely separate conversations together,
It
which is
was one of
honestly
the
quite smart.
Yeah, I mean, it is. One of the former bachelorette or bachelor contestants, she was on years and years ago, but she had a blog and she would basically blog her way through the seasons, and she would actually put up audio clips and say, "Listen at, like, second 23 and you can hear the cut,"
Mm,
you know? And so, like I said, like, that's how I learned how to hear these things.
yeah.
That's
They would also film to, like, those initial nights. I had a moment with the Bachelor, Bachelorette. We can talk about that if you're up to. But they would that's why those shoots would go to, like, 2 and 3 in the morning because they had to have the same outfits and the same hair
Yeah.
because they wanted to piece together all these convos.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, there's just an incredible amount that they can do. And now, especially with AI and everything, like, we're getting so deep to the woods of not being able to tell what's real, you know? Like, what is a real thing that happened or was said or whatever. And if we don't have a good sense of that or a good sense of how to look for things,
Mm,
and that's where that manipulation comes in too, is like you're going to keep getting manipulated on all sides. Democrats are doing it.
yep.
I just think they're doing it much worse. Like, they're not as good at it.
No, they're not.
Um,
Democrats are so GD smart. Why do they lose so GD often?
well, and it's like they're trying so hard to be like, let me explain to you my academic paper about this policy. But, like, most people don't want that. They want, because we have a 2-second attention span as a
Well, it's like the churches.
country. And
Do you want a church that's gonna, like, tell you a sermon and give you or do you wanna feel that feeling? Give me the
Do you
feeling.
want those music notes to hit at the right place so that you are feeling the spirit? Like,
And I think for the past, like, decade, we've been banking on that book knowledge and not
yep,
understanding that people wanna feel a feeling. And I
yeah,
think we got a window of it in Obama, but because Obama was so smart,
because Obama is so charismatic.
we didn't realize, though, that that was the Democrats got the brain, but people who were maybe independent or undecided got the good feeling, you
I
know?
mean, do you remember when Obama used to do slow jazzing the news with Jimmy Fallon?
No, I don't, but I wanna see it.
It was during his presidency. He would get on Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Fallon would, like, sing slow jazz. It was I'm trying to remember exactly, but it was the 2 of them. And, like, that was the kind of brilliant stuff that he did that made him, I mean,
I mean, that's the thing
still.
that oh gosh, yes. I mean, I think that's kind of what I wanted to say is like I'm not trying to be like look at the Nazis from a 360 perspective. No, fuck them. I don't care. It's not that. It's more
Still.
that I want to win. And so I'm trying
Mhm.
to figure out how we get people back in. And I
Yeah, what do
wonder
we
if
do?
Obama is not a good example of what we need in the next go round. Is like we don't need Weekend at Bernie's. We don't need, we need
We don't need Weekend at Bernie's. I think too, like,
we need someone
they
that's gonna
tried
match that sort of charisma that honestly Trump has with some people. Like,
I think they tried too hard with, like, the celebrities and stuff with Kamala
mm,
too, because there is a massive increasing disconnect, like, people don't want I don't care who celebrities are voting for, I wanna know if this is gonna affect my life,
but
and
weirdly, the Republicans are okay with like their version of celebrity, which is billionaires, and that. So that's a little bit
that
of a disconnect in my brain.
yeah, that I just don't get. I don't get the, like, idea that these billionaires are somehow brilliant and smart, and
Because I saw someone say like, "Who
they're such
cares who
losers.
George Clooney is voting for?" And then it's like, "But here's Elon Musk," and I'm like, "What do
Right.
you mean? Elon Musk
I
is."
infinitely care more about who George Clooney is voting for than Elon Musk, like, I'm just gonna
I'm
put that
wondering if it's not because of the perceived intelligence of like
it is.
businessy stuff as opposed to like
Yeah.
entertainment, which they already see as being sort of like
I also feel like,
keeps it going for a
the
little.
businessy thing, um, I heard from a lot of people still, which blows my mind because again, we've been through this, we know it's not real, but, like, "Well, Trump's a businessman, so he's gonna fix things because he's a businessman," and I'm like, "Why do we think business people are so smart? This is not a thing I understand."
Well, the first thing that I saw that like personally affected us was they got rid of the cap on insulin.
They got rid of the what?
The price cap on insulin.
Oh, I know.
So
Immediately. Insulin
immediately, for a while it had been $35 was the
mhm.
cap. Now, here's an interesting thing that I think says a lot about the Republican Party. Stewart actually had to pay more for insulin under that $35 cap. And the reason behind it was because his insurance was so good because he works for a fill in the blank bank
Yeah.
that his insulin was lower than $35. People on Medicare and Medicaid, that's going to destroy them. Like
Yeah.
people who don't have insurance at all, like
Yeah.
keep in mind, insulin is what keeps you
It keeps
alive.
you alive. The idea that we should take away a cap on insulin is just cruel.
So
But it's
cruel.
also, like, it's the amount of screwing over of old people that was immediately day 1, Monday, was like, "Here, all of these drug prices are gonna go up.
Yeah.
Medicaid and Medicare are gonna suck more. We're gonna completely destroy Social Security." Like, the old people, I'm like, "We"
Yeah, it
it's
wasn't
like
I
COVID
should
all
say
over again, like
it wasn't just insulin, but I think if you do a
yeah,
comparative, who won in that situation and who lost? Well, I would say as a human being, the poor and the old people lost. As
yeah,
a seemingly the narrative Trump's putting forth is that Stewart won.
right? Yeah,
He
like,
works at this job at the bank and he has good insurance. Well, now you don't have to pay that cap anymore. You pay what your insurance pays, which, by the way, could be anything now
it
because
could be anything.
it was before this that he was paying less than
Yeah.
35 and then he bumped it up. But you know what? Because he's been in the system, he didn't care about, I think it was like $5. So 35 gets everyone capped. He was cool with it. Because
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I mean, that's how I feel, like, if we could all have health insurance and we all like, everybody, job or no job, whatever, and I have to pay a little bit more than I'm paying right now, sure, but now we all have it and we don't have to worry about all of this nonsense because ultimately someday that might affect me too, but, like, also I just have empathy and I care about
mm,
people who aren't myself. But, like, because
what?
I know it's a shocker, because I've been on a variety, like, I've had to have private insurance when I didn't have it through an employer. I was on is it Medicaid is the one not for old people, or is it Medicare? I can never
I
remember.
feel like care is old people because
I feel like CARE is old people and CAID.
not old
But,
people, people whose
um,
numbers are increasing
the
to a
the
certain.
year and a half, after I moved back from Scotland before I graduated, because I was just working on my PhD, I didn't have a job, um, and, like, I was making, like, $200 a month or something, and so I was on Medicaid, which is hands down some of the best insurance I've ever had. It covered so much stuff that I
Until
didn't
now.
used to, but right. And I've had a variety of insurance, like good and bad insurance at different employers. And like if we could just stop that roller coaster of an experience,
Mm-hmm.
I would love that
Yeah.
because I'd like to just be like, cool, my insurance is the same for all of my life. I don't have to keep
Right.
being like, what do I have? What do I not have?
Yeah. Yeah. And what am I going to pay? Because
Yeah.
the bank switched to quite a famous insurance company these days, um, for reasons. And just ask Taylor from Today; she'll tell you all about
It's
it.
gonna be like see our previous episode
Right.
when we
Our
had
previous
Taylor.
where I had to say murder is bad more times than I thought I would ever have to say in my life. Um. Anyway, so yeah, we were, but like when I showed up to like my GP or my gyno or whatever, I didn't know how much it was going to cost. Because like
Oh God,
you
yeah.
don't get, I mean, you get some, but like you never know what you're going to get billed, and like so it could be any. And luckily, I mean, by the grace, Stuart can pay for it. But even then, when he was in the hospital, Stuart got very sick a while back. That bill was
Oh yeah.
a house payment plus four.
Yeah, like it's so much money going to the hospital.
And he
We
was
recently
dying, guys.
we changed insurances, like I think it shifted on January 1st. I don't
Mm,
really remember, but like so I have a new health insurance right now, but I don't know, Leah, I don't know what it is
mm-mm.
because I haven't gotten my cards yet. I haven't gotten all that information and I can't remember. And then I got logged out of the thing that I could go and look at it
Because you
and I
and I are the
couldn't get in.
same person for the
And
most part.
it was a whole mess, and then the IT person got mad, and so I just haven't dealt with it. So somebody asked me recently, like, "Well, you should go to the doctor because I've had this cough," and I was like, "I can't
I don't know anything.
because I don't know what I have."
I'm a baby. I don't know
Right?
anything.
And they're like, "Well, they can just look you up by your social security number," and I was
Oh,
like, "But do
well,
you know how stressful it is to be like, I don't know what I'm gonna pay. I don't know anything about what's gonna happen if I go to the doctor. And this is just like a momentary thing. Like there are lots of people out there who just never have I didn't have health insurance for a while. Also, before Obamacare hit, when you could still have pre-existing conditions, do you know what was excluded for me? My knees. My
what?
knees were not insured because I have arthritis. And so if anything happened, if I broke my knee in a car accident, it would not be insured. If I fell down and broke my knee, not insured. Like
Yeah,
it didn't
Stuart's
it
diabetes
wasn't like
was
we
big.
won't cover your arthritis
Mhm.
medicine. It was like your knees
They don't
are
accept.
not insured.
Yeah, that was the same with Stuart, except it was diabetes. And they asked questions. They're like, "So did you know you had diabetes before today?" And he goes, "Am I alive?" Yeah, had a bit of an issue with that. Got it fixed. Yeah, I knew about it.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Like at least with your knees, you could be like, "What?"
Right? I mean, it was crazy because I got diagnosed with arthritis when I was like 23 and
Is that the Is it from ballet?
it was from ballet,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I did ballet for a long time. And then I had to get that's when I went to grad school. So I got off of my employer's insurance and I got private insurance.
Mm.
And as I was like setting it up, they were like, "It says here that you have arthritis in your knees." And I was like, and they're like, "So your knees are excluded. Just blanket. Nope. No coverage
I
for
like
your
that
knees."
in my head to make it more frivolous is that you just end at your knees. Like there's no like, but there not even that you end. There's a gap.
There's just a gap. That's how I always pictured it. It's
Yeah.
just like my knees are blanked
There's
out.
like a gap, and then the rest of your leg is there.
It's a wild time. I mean, and the idea that we might go back to having pre-excluded conditions, like,
Mhm.
no, let's
Yeah.
not do that.
I mean, I think for me, I had to avoid it and then process it, and I needed to process it in chunks. And now
Yeah.
I have to go about it tackling those chunks because that's how my brain. I can't go too like I think that this is the anxiety brain. I can't be like, everything's wrong, the world's on fire, we're all gonna fall in a pit. Christy knows this from chatting to me. It's probably
Yeah.
super annoying. But every time people get really, it's because, well, there's background, but just trust me. And I have to be like, no, this is consumable. We can
Yeah.
we
I
can
mean,
fix consumable things.
I
And
think that's I think that's good and healthy is like, how do I cope with this? Because
right,
ultimately, and I think that what I've been trying to work out, I got really, really, obviously, I feel like we all know that I
right.
got really angry.
I think most of us did. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, most of us did,
thinking
but
of
like I got
our
really,
listeners, probably most of them.
but I feel like what I can't do is just like sit and be ragey. Like that's not
Oh
productive,
yeah,
right? You
same.
can be angry and you should be angry. You should have the appropriate emotions given events, right?
Yep.
But like then I have to do something to work through it or to make myself functional. And like knowing like I need to make this in consumable bites so that I can deal with each thing in chunks. I think
Also,
that's
my
good.
my text. This was me.
You were the little dog in
Sorry,
the
the little
fire.
dog with the "this is fine."
This is
The
fine.
dog is me. These flames are all the text messages I was getting at the time.
the the s- the screaming text
The
messages that she
screaming,
was getting mostly
and so
from
this
me.
is me being like, "We can handle
Ah,
it, guys. We
it's
can
fine.
do it."
Yeah.
And then it's, "Ah! Ah! Ah!"
So like I feel like one thing I am like intentionally wanting to do is to make sure that I keep looking for like this is gonna sound super Mr. Rogers, but like looking for good people and good
Yeah.
things to be happening, right? So like the bishop
This is a
that
perfect segue. I was about to say that.
I know the bishop that did the sermon, I like that gave me an incredible amount of hope. I feel like knowing that someone was strong enough to stand up and give that sermon in front of them like gives me the strength to do similar things to say what are the moments where I can stand up and give this sermon
She
or talk or do
I
something in
changed
class.
my profile picture to that woman because
Yeah.
if on certain social media that everyone is also bad, that but it, and if it comes out that she's murdered someone or like killed puppies or like, I'm sorry,
It
but in that moment when she was giving that sermon and just looking
mhm.
right at him and he
Yeah.
was so uncomfortable, and then later he was like, she was boring, she wasn't, no, she
She's
wasn't,
very
she's not her,
like
she's the bishop of DC. Like,
right.
she's also a woman who is a bishop
Yep.
of DC, and that is, I bet, exceptionally hard. I bet she worked a really long time to get there.
I can I can only imagine how nervous and anxious she was feeling in that moment because no matter how
Just
strong you are, no matter how badass you are, you're standing in front of those people giving that sermon.
mm,
You're gonna be anxious about it,
that's
you
right.
know? And to know how she was feeling in that moment and she still did it. And knowing too, because I saw somebody say like they're not gonna listen, it's not gonna change them. But you know who it is gonna change? It's gonna change somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's somebody out there who is going to hear that and think you're right. Like I need to adjust my thinking. I need to care more for the oppressed. They
Well, and
aren't
I
the
think
ones.
it was helpful for me as a person, and
Yeah.
probably
Also, yeah.
all of us who were sitting there, being like, especially religious people, who were
Yeah.
watching this insanity happen, which under the guise of the Christian party, and I was like, none of this taking away stuff from the poor, like all these billionaires,
Yeah.
like all the stuff about civil rights, deporting like the refugees, but also illegal immigration. But you know what? We can handle. The whole
Yeah.
thing was just like,
I know.
and for her to talk to that with a Christian voice just gave me, and to
Mhm.
be like, you know what, you should be better. She told me you should be better. If you want to say these things, you should be. And oh my god,
Yeah. I mean, it
thank you,
the
ma'am. What is her name? Do we know?
I we do know. Hold on, I'm going to find it. The I don't know, it gave me the kind of powerful uplift that I needed both in that moment but also like as I'm trying to keep my phone away from so I don't accidentally like blare
This is my fight song.
something. But like to have that her reach may not have been the people standing in front of her,
Mm.
but her reach was still huge. Like she did.
Well, it wasn't just that she was talking to Trump and all the rest of them. It was just the fact that, like, because you're right, he won't listen. He doesn't care. He's a narcissist. He's going to think whatever he wants to think. But
Marion Budd.
yes, love you, okay, yes. Please
Yeah.
don't have killed puppies in your former life. But yeah, so I think the fact that she was saying, like, she kind of almost went through all the things that he was going to do and
Yeah.
said, this is not biblical.
This is not Christian.
This
This is
isn't
not
Christian.
how Jesus wants you to live.
So
Don't do
if
these
you're
things.
Christian and you're celebrating this because you think it's a Christian victory, it's not.
It's not.
And here
Yeah.
are the reasons why.
Yeah.
And she freaking laid it out. Now, did it affect him signing a bunch of stuff? It absolutely did not. But you know what? For me, I'm going to be like, this isn't my president. This isn't my Christianity. This isn't my theology. And
Well, and like
here are the reasons why. Footnote, Bud.
it's just the standing up, doing what you can. She had a platform. She used the platform well. And this is what like I want to always remember is I don't have a huge platform, but I have a platform and I need to use it well. And I need to do what I can in the moments that I have. And I also need to remember that like we're not alone in doing that.
Mm.
We are not. We might be alone in that moment, or you might feel kind of that stress of like this is going to affect, something about my life, but like there's support in that. There are people standing behind you or with you. And to just have that kind of even symbolic support of her, it was really, I appreciated a lot. I also appreciated Ketanji Brown Jackson's collar. The that was like evoking both the symbolism from Africa of the conch shells or the little shells, but
Ginsburg.
also like calling back to Ginsburg and her dissent collar and like putting in the cloud of witnesses. Essentially, like if there's a cloud of witnesses that's standing together fighting against these things, and like to be part of that and to see those people who are doing it publicly can give us the strength to do it in our own spaces too.
I saw a thing. It was beyond. It was when
It was so
I
beautiful.
saw that because for those of you who may not know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Supreme Court Justice, when she didn't agree with something that was going through, she'd wear this collar that was like, yeah, I dissent collar, and she famously says I dissent. And actually, I think Brown in one of her dissents said, "For the sake of democracy, I dissent," or something like that. And I was and more recently. Anyway, so it was so
I'm
great.
looking this up too because I just wanted to make sure I got the cowrie shells. That was it. I was like, conch shells is not right. The cowrie shells that are, they're supposed to. Oh gosh, ancient African cultures that protect against evil, basically, is what they are.
I saw someone say, I'm going to become ungovernable. And I thought that was interesting, but I don't think that's how I'm going to be. I think I'm going to be uncomfortable. I want to be more uncomfortable than ungovernable.
Yeah, I agree. I feel because, and we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about Wicked too. I feel like we make it too big. Like we say, like, I'm going to do these huge, impressive feats of resistance. And then either we don't have the opportunities to, or like that's a huge thing and you get scared, which is fair. But like, think about the small ways that you can become uncomfortable for the right reasons. Like, what are the kinds of things you can do in the little moments instead of making it a huge thing? Just how can you stand up for somebody or do the things that you can do in your actual life instead of dreaming up those like big.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
ungovernable to me sounds like you're just going to start rioting in the streets all the time. And like,
Which, based on the
if that's
person who told me this, would be funny.
like, I love a good riot in the streets, but like, that's not going to happen every day. So what can you do that's maybe a bit more
Yeah, I
day
mean,
to day
I think if
realistic?
you're wondering what that might look like, I have no affiliation other than having looked at some of their stuff, but it seems like the ACLU is doing quite a bit of stuff already out the
Yeah.
gate. Um, the American Civil Liberties Union, and they're on Instagram, or they're on the World Wide Web, or maybe they
Yeah.
even have brick and
I
mortar
mean,
stuff. But
there are plenty of places where we can like kind of join up people who know how to do the things better than we do,
Yeah,
local
and you
ones
can
or
do
big
some.
ones,
Yeah,
whatever you can find, just like find those moments where you can like, even if it's just like, mailing cards or
buy
licking
some
envelopes or
sweatshirts
something.
that say "Not my president."
Yeah,
I may or may.
like being brave enough to walk around in your area and say like, I'm not going to stand up or I'm not going to sit back while bad things are happening to people in front of me, like
And always make it clear that you don't. There's that the. I will botch it, so I'm not. There is a quote that's very adjacent to this from Martin Luther King Jr. But anyway, that you don't participate. I mean, you can participate in the system, but always talk about how, because you don't want to go to jail or whatever. But
oh
like,
yeah.
always say like, I do not agree with this. Like,
Yeah,
you
is it
know,
the don't obey in advance? Is that the one you're talking about?
no, it's that big long one that I've
Oh,
our
okay.
Instagram.
Oh, okay.
But it's just saying that like we don't have to accept these systems of evil. We can, and if you don't want to participate in them, you don't. Now, do I still have to follow and obey laws of the land if I don't want to go to jail? Yeah, sure. It's not that so much, but if you really don't want to support, some of these people who are doing Nazis, don't buy from them. And I don't
Yeah.
need to or don't give them any opportunity. Don't whatever. Don't do
Yeah.
anything to help
Don't give them more oxygen
them.
than
Hmm.
they already have. I think that's one of the things too that I'm like really intentionally trying to do is like I don't want to give it more oxygen than it already has.
We gave it
You
quite a
know?
bit. We're almost at the end.
I know. I was gonna say today. I feel like we had to. Like
We
this was
did. It's like when we
this.
started with the election, and then we were like, you know what, David Lynch. I don't even want to put him on a podcast with this kind of stuff.
No,
So,
we're saving that for next week.
yeah,
That's
we're definitely.
we guys. We have a really good next week episode already lined up in our heads
Yeah,
because
it's going to
we
be
were
an
gonna do it today.
entertainment
But
forward palate cleanser.
yeah, like.
And will we be able
But
to
I
get
do
out
feel
January by then? I don't think so.
it'll be close. I don't know. I do feel like saying like, hey, here's where we're taking a stand as a podcast. We have followers. This is the other thing. Like we do have a platform here with the podcast, and I
Mhm.
feel a sense of responsibility for that. Um, and I do feel like we need to like clearly know how we're dealing, but also like to give you all the kind of support and power that we got from Bud and from um good lord, now I can't remember the order of her name.
She and I have a look, and I was like, "I'm gonna save
It,
you, but I don't know how. You got to give me more."
Jackson.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
oh
wait, which one comes first? God, you guys, I've been teaching all day and it wrecks you, but
yeah. These NA seltzers are getting me.
to be able to like give support where we can for what y'all are doing. And two, I feel like if there's stuff that you guys are doing that we can support and shout out on the podcast, like please let us know so that we can do that because we all got a band together
Oh
in
my
these
gosh,
dark
we so
times.
do. We so do.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Like and if you have a podcast maybe that's just starting, and you're like, "Hey, I want to be on the podcast," like
yeah,
send us a message on Instagram. I don't know if
we're much better at Instagram than we
than
are any
Gmail.
other
Yeah,
platform really.
yeah,
So we're
this
gonna
works.
keep that one.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, and
uh
you know what? I actually kept Facebook because of something you said, which was about not leaving platforms because they become accessible. I think I quoted you on that or something.
I don't want to take credit for that because that was actually our friend of the podcast and previous guest Columba posted about this
Oh,
on
okay, fair
Facebook,
enough. Yeah,
and he had said, and I if you feel like you need to leave certain platforms
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
Facebook or whatever, do what you need to do to feel correct in your soul. I don't want it to become a cesspool. I don't want to hand over these places. I don't want all of the town squares to just be for one certain talking point.
I
And
agree.
the unfortunate thing is that we don't have a lot of spaces.
Mm,
There's not a big competing app that aligns with all of my principles that I can just be like, I'll just go over there and have these conversations.
right.
But I don't want to leave people. I do feel like where we can speak truth to power, we should. And so I thought long and hard about it, but I ultimately, I mean, You and I both got off of Twitter a while ago, and
Yeah, that to me was
but that
I didn't really feel that one in my soul anyway.
no, I feel like that was just, like, jumping off of the poisoned and sinking
Yeah,
ship,
and
like
when they gave an alternative, I was like, "Great, that's what I'll do."
yeah, awesome. Blue Sky is great.
Yeah, we're both on
We're
Blue
both on
Sky.
Blue Sky, so you can follow us both there, our respective names, but,
I've not
um
tweeted. Can we still say tweeted since he's not Twitter? He was X. I'm gonna still say tweet.
I think they
What did
the
Twitter
kids
do?
say skeet.
Huh?
They call it skeeting on Blue Sky, which I
Isn't that
think
a
sounds
doesn't
stupid.
that have a history that
It does.
let's talk
I
about that off camera. I was
um,
remembering Brat from the early 2000s. It's confusing.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's yeah, I feel like again, like this the things we can do, we should do in our spaces the ways that we can, and that's what you and I are gonna do
Well, Christy, I think
in the power of us.
we are. Again, I always feel like yeah, I don't want anyone to think that I'm a conservative. I don't think they would. But
Nope.
like I said, I just like strategy. I want a strategy. I need a
Strategy makes
plan
sense. I think
that's a strategy.
we've mentioned this before. I tend to lead with rage, and
But
and you tend to lead with more of a, like,
but
practical, like,
well,
"Okay, but what
practical.
should we do?" And I'm like, "Punch them." And you're like, "We can't punch all of them."
There's too many, and also jail. But I
It's
do
good to
think
have someone rational
Christy
to
has more
side.
longevity in the fight than me, though. I start with strategy and then I peter out. But I mean, the thing, but
It's
that's
just
for
that the rage keeps coming back.
what I
It's
was
not
gonna say. And also, I think the rage is just gonna be daily now. So I think if you keep my feet to the fire, I'll keep going. But like, I think,
yeah,
yeah, that's my
I'm just enraged frequently enough
that's
that
okay. Please, and then tell me what I should also be enraged about, and I will be enraged too. But also, there's someone who told me about our podcast at beer camp. They were like, you know what? Every time you and Kirsty say, respectively, we'll say, "Well, I kind of disagree." She was like, "I hold my breath,"
it's too funny.
and then she went, "But then y'all always just talk about it, and you get over it." And I'm like, "Or you just are like, okay, that's fine." And I was like, "That's because we're actually friends. That's
Well,
how
that's because 'cause we're
friends talk."
actually friends, so we can, but also I think, like, I believe this with the depths of my soul, if you can't disagree and then talk it through,
Mm, mm.
like, we're doomed
Yeah,
as a
that's like
people.
a
Like,
basic human. But
I need
I think we got here for a reason, and part of it is that we've lost that ability in a way.
yeah, I think we need to be able to talk through why we disagree about things, and I think we need to be able to do it with a genuine, like, desire to understand the other side, and this is what you were saying earlier, but, like, understand the real things of what's going on and not
Right.
just yell the talking points at each other back and forth. Like if there's a genuine like we want to come to an understanding, then disagreement can be a really good way to grow and like learn. But if you're like I'm just going to yell the same thing at you over and over, I'm just going to walk away. Like that's not a real disagreement.
And I think the other side is this. I don't think we can out logic each other on
No.
this one because even with things that feel quite straightforward, like Nazis are bad, because
Mhm.
I think that what there's always counters, and it's I did some mediation work whenever I was in Northern Ireland. The logic, the points to points, it just doesn't work because then someone comes up with like it. I really do think the key is one for people to have to suffer a little bit. You got to
Yeah.
kind of be in the and they will under the
Yeah.
system. A lot of people who voted for him, and I also think back to the Obama point. I think is we need someone who has the thinkers and the feelers and the emotions on both sides, but they can also just inspire. He flipped North Carolina. He flipped states. The reason North Carolina is considered a flip state is because of Obama. Like
Yeah.
I think he did things people didn't think, and so we just need someone like that.
We
I
need
think,
that there's a connection. You know, like sometimes you look at someone and you feel like they're looking back at you.
mm,
And I don't mean like you and me because like obviously we are, but like you look at like a celebrity or someone well known and you feel seen by that person.
right.
I feel like he was able to do that in a really impactful way, you know? I'm not saying like we need to like I don't think it would work to run exactly the same campaign as Obama in '08, but like there's a magic there that needs to be found again.
Yeah.
And I do think I have like people in mind that I'm like, this person has it and this person has it. But whether or not the machine of
Right.
the country will let those people run, I don't know. So
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's right. And I think that also, this is speculation. I think that voting block that you talked about that did vote for Trump, I think some of them are these people that he talks to that come to the rallies. And then I think people talk about the silent majority. I think there is a silent bridge of people who are kind of in between. And that if you can get the right amount of feeling, or you can get the right amount of whatever hits their sweet spot, that you could get them to. And I think that's what happened in the Obama years, is that you got those people over, more
yeah.
so in the first term, clearly. But like, you know, so I think there are those folks, and I think that's my speculation about how we
Yeah.
fix it. Make the grievance. Well, they're gonna make the grievances happen already. They're doing it. So
Yeah.
enjoy the non-capped, stuff that's supposed to keep us alive. That pisses me right the heck off.
I mean, that blows my mind. But well, like I mean, I feel like this is an ongoing kind of thing, but we're not gonna like let ourselves live in this state of despair. We're gonna look for those moments of joy and support and power, and we're gonna go with those things, and we're gonna fight the good fight, and we're gonna make the good trouble,
Oh
and
yeah.
we're gonna speak truth to power and all of that kind of
And
stuff.
on days we're tired, we're gonna wear a really inflammatory T-shirt.
Yes.
I'm speaking for
Yes.
myself. I was okay. I'm gonna conclude it now, if that's okay. But also, like,
Yes.
I'm looking at my cat. I have a black cat, and if you notice, I can't figure out what's happening with him. Like, it almost looks like he's looking at me, but it's not his eyeballs. And so when I kept taking my glasses on and off, because we joke about Salem because he's a black cat, and we don't really know. Like, there's a thing I'm going to send you that's going to look like his eyeballs are looking at you. Those are not his eyeballs, and I'm not sure what's happening with.
Last
I don't
night when
know where his body is.
I was talking to good friend Josh Patterson, and I said that sometimes I think that there are just ghosts running around.
Wow, that came from not drinking as well. Yeah, Chrissy's going to be on Josh's podcast, Emogelicals.
Emogelicals.
And
It's
we'll
uh,
advertise it.
yeah,
I was just on Systematic Ecology, and we put that up.
yes,
And, these are all fun distraction links that
yep,
we're putting up.
good times.
We will not be talking. We did not, well, maybe mention politics a little in mine,
Look,
but
we didn't mean to talk about politics this whole time, but it happened. And
it's,
next podcast is going to be light and joyful and beautiful, and we're going to talk about beautiful things.
we are. I have my book coming up, and I'm still requesting people who know people or who might have opportunities for me to interview people, because
Yes,
who have been through the conversion therapy experience, or maybe even were just adjacent to it. Like, I would even, by adjacent, I don't necessarily mean friends, but maybe parents that had to make the
parents.
decision.
Yeah, okay.
I'd be interested in that.
Okay. Yeah. Like, yeah, shoot us messages or direct emails. We can, in the link, there's email address.
Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to go to the streets and just start being like, "Did you go through conversion therapy? Would you talk to me, please?" I feel like it's going to be a very niche situation.
It's going to be a very niche situation. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
looking forward to that book. Also, Leah's book, and we mentioned it before, but her book is out, Bad Theology in a Time of COVID. It is a pricey one, but it is worth it. It's a really good book, but we
it's
have the
a
link.
Donald Trump level book, right?
We have the link coming up for you on that one too. And other good stuff. So keep here, be here. We're going to be here. It's going to be great.
We're going to be here. We're your aunties. We're here for you.
Yeah.
And if we disagree, it's okay, because we're still going to love you. It's okay if you
Look, we were
disagree
twin
with us.
flames born from hell, so we're going to sometimes yell at each other.
She goes, "I held my breath, and then y'all just go on and talk about it." And I was like, "Yeah, that's how people worked before."
That's good. I
That's
think
what
that we
people
are
were.
going to continue to model that.
We are. So, healthy conversation. Also,
Yeah.
here's an area of disagreement, but funny. Next week is Groundhog Day. Chris,
Is it next week?
it's next Wednesday. Yeah.
I thought it was in February. Good
Oh,
Lord.
geez. Am I wrong?
No, I
I
believe
swear,
you.
because I was looking at what happens next week for exciting things. Shoot, it is February 2nd. Dang it! Wait, what is January? January 29th is something.
Lunar New Year is January 20th.
I hate these calendars. Let's click on the 29th and tell me it doesn't pop up and say Groundhog Day up there.
No, it's Lunar New Year, but you know what? Groundhog Day is not on my phone at all, so
It's right here. Look at this.
I can't see that. That's
Okay.
y'all.
Well, anyway, so point being,
Everyone's gonna
what
be
do
so
you?
excited when we're drinking again.
We're not. We're really not. This is us sadly very so not sad. We are doing the good thing.
It's February
My
2nd.
liver was very happy. Okay, February 2nd. What do you are we getting more winter or more summer?
I'm gonna say we're getting more winter. It's based off of how cold I am right now.
Well, Christy, I disagree.
You
And
just,
honestly, I'm freaking pissed.
I hate you.
Burn it to the ground. Nothing is fine. My dad was wrong. I'm gonna go because I think when it's really, really, really cold, I
Uh-huh.
like to think that's an indication that it's short lived. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
go. No, I have no science for that. I have desperation and hope and my electricity bill.
Y'all, I'm gonna make her put a picture up of her electric cape because it is
Oh shoot, I gotta put it back on.
fantastic. Thank you for joining us for this Theology on the Rocks.
We love you
We'll
and
be
we're
back.
here for you.
We're here for you. You're here for us.
You
It's a
are.
family.
We got you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.